Full disclosure, I didn't actually see a single pitch of yesterday's game. For the box score, I can tell you that Jairo Munoz hit a 2-run homer, and that Luke Weaver gave up a 2-run, 2-out, 2-strike double to the pitcher. But it's what the box score doesn't tell us. It's actually more of the story. And really, isn't it always? Luke Weaver and Brent Suter might not have been the marquee matchup, especially with the game we know is coming on Wednesday of this series, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't significant. Suter isn't overpowering by any means, but he's exactly the kind of soft-tossing lefty that tends to befuddle the Cardinals lineup, a reality that is extraordinarily frustrating for St. Louis Cardinals fans, and has been for years. And the Brewers' bullpen is actually really good, so scoring off of them was never particularly likely. So the fact that the entirety of the Cardinals' run producing yesterday came in a single inning, Suter's last inning of work, isn't really surprising either. In fact, the Cardinals had just 2 base runners against Suter all day prior to that sort of mini offensive explosion in the 4th inning that started with a leadoff base hit from Harrison Bader. In stepped Jairo Munoz, homerless in his previous 36 Major League at-bats this season, and I guess he decided it was time for a change of pace. So he sent an 80-mile-an-hour changeup low in the zone, high over the center field wall. 3 batters later, and with 2 outs in the inning, Matt Carpenter added to the Cardinals' run total with a solo shot of his own. Carpenter now has 6 home runs on the year, 4 of which have come in the last 7 days. And perhaps more importantly, he now has 11 doubles on the season. He had just 4 prior to the month of May. He also has 2 bunt base hits on the road trip, which is something that even I, proud member of the #NeverBunt Society, have been desperate for him to do. So hats off to you, Matt Carpenter. Looking forward to more of Carpenter being Carpenter as the season goes on. And all is well and good, except that by that point, Luke Weaver had already given up 4 runs to the Brew Crew. So that meant the Cardinals' little rally in the 4th still left them 1 run short of tying the game at 4. A Ryan Braun double and a Manny Pena single put the Brewers on the board in the 2nd inning. Then a Yelich 2-out homer extended the lead in the 3rd, and then came the 4th inning, the one that got away from Luke Weaver. Braun got things started again with a base hit, and then Luke Weaver threw the ball away on a pickoff attempt, which ended up not mattering that much, except that Weaver then walked Jonathan Villar, which may or may not have had anything to do with the throwing error, except that it maybe messed with the psyche of a young starter, leading to the extra bases allowed that inning. But maybe. I don't know. Maybe he just lost it. Because he then also walked Tyler Saladino with 2 outs, bringing up the pitcher. And I already told you how that went. Or did I? So it's in the scorebook as a double. But in reality, it wasn't like a hard hit ground ball, it wasn't a liner to the gap, it was just a almost dribbler just inside, well, it was a little harder than a dribbler, but you get the point, just inside the first base line. Just fair and just under the glove of Jose Martinez, which with the bases loaded was probably going to score 2 runs anyway, but then Martinez didn't actually go after the ball as it rolled into foul territory. Instead, Jed Jerko had to come charging all the way from his position at second base, and he finally picked it up and actually fired a throw to the plate that cut down what would have been the 3rd run scoring on the play. So it goes in the scorebook as a 2-out, 2-strike, 2 RBI double, but in reality it was just a hot Cardinals mess. And that would be the end of Luke Weaver's day, in a game that felt a little bit like he was pitching for his spot in the rotation once Carlos Martinez actually returns, which may or may not be happening anytime soon. But Weaver wasn't the only one having a bad day. Mike Myers gave up a 2-out run in the 5th inning. And then Brett Cecil came in, and unfortunately looked a lot more like the 2017 version of the lefty reliever when he gave up a base hit to Christian Yelich, then intentionally walked Ryan Braun to get to Jonathan Villar, who promptly homered to left center. Cecil has actually been more good than bad since his return from a lengthy stay on the DL. I mean, he's only allowed hits in 3 of his 10 appearances. It's just that in all 3 of those instances, those hits turned into runs. If only the Cardinals offense had that kind of conversion rate, am I right? So with that, the Brewers gained another game on the Cardinals, and the Cubs moved into sole possession of 2nd place in the division with their win over the Pirates. After all, we're past Memorial Day, so it's okay to start looking at those things. All that means is, it's time to take it up a notch, guys. Like, right now.